Bailey, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you taking your time to speak with us about the Calling All Heroes tournament and your role. First thing I wanted to ask is what influences have you taken from your roles with the Overwatch League and Overwatch contenders that have influenced your workflow or the staging of the Calling All Heroes tournament?
Yeah, definitely. I would say the most immediate thing is that we're trying to treat Calling All Heroes just like a person who's playing in Contenders or going to OWL. We think it's really important that this program is a helpful pipeline for players. So we want the kind of experience and the circumstances to match that. So I've taken a lot of learnings from Contenders and OWL and just applied them directly to Calling All Heroes because we want to have the same environment so the players just know what to expect. They understand it's the same circumstances and that they're also treated as just as much of a professional in Contenders or calling or in Overwatch League.
All right. Has it helped at all to have assistance from some of these Overwatch League teams sponsoring the Calling All Heroes teams and having coaches like Jake taking over like the management and coaching for teams as well?
Yeah, I'd say that's twofold. One, it's just great to have their brands on the product. They're able to promote, bring audiences, and I think one of our big pillars in calling all heroes is visibility. Being able to have these Overwatch League team brands on the product on these teams is incredible. They bring their fan base and they help make the program more visible, which we think just creates more conversations. The players get more eyes on them, and that helps them grow and helps them succeed, which is awesome. And then also, too, they get to throw their expertise behind these teams as well, with coaches such as Jake, who are helping out with Dart Monkeys, which is super, super awesome. They're able to just help level up these teams who don't normally have the same level of access to resources as teams who are traditionally competing in contenders, etc. So it's great to be able to leverage the platform of the Overwatch League team and the resources so that we're able to make an equitable playing field for both Calling All Heroes teams and teams that are looking to compete in open division and contenders as well.
Right. And what, if any, differences were there in setting up the Calling All Heroes tournament or promoting the Calling All Heroes tournament that are different from the just stream of tiers in competitive Overwatch?
Yeah, so I think something that at a conceptual level we've tried to work with Calling All Heroes was keep it a bit outside the Path to Pro system, where this is more of a resource and a pipeline to get into that main system. We don't want this to be a replacement. We don't want this to be a they only play in Calling All Heroes. The whole point of this is so that they're able to get these extra resources and have a more equitable playing field when they do want to compete in open division, in contenders, etc. So I think this kind of functions similar to collegiate, where everyone has their own path to pro in Overwatch esports, and this is just another avenue for them that we hope is able to help support them, which we think is super awesome. I would say one of the other biggest challenges that I think is very common with any kind of marginalized gender, women's, or DEI esports program is that there are both kind of the concerns around verifying the participants, which is always a very hot topic. So a lot of care and attention went into that process that was focused on just making sure that we have a safe space environment because that comes first. If the players feel safe, feel welcome, they want to compete and they will come. And it's just I would say above all else, making sure that environment is important is a priority for us. Competitive integrity is always important, but for us, I think compared to a little more than other programs, the experience of the participants is so important because if they have a bad time, they're not going to want to stay, and that's the whole point of this is to build that community, build that trust, and have people feel comfortable in the system.
Right. In building that community, did was it a bit of an easier task to focus on the I guess just the comfort of inclusion when you already had this kind of this line of Overwatch competitive brackets and systems that have already existed. Was it easy to kind of just cut and paste that in to let the team focus more on, I guess, the purpose of this specific branch of Path to Pro?
Yeah, I would say that yeah, both yes and no. I think something that we did take a lot of influence from was from the Overwatch Empowerment Cup, which I actually helped admin from as well back in February of 2020. We were able to take a lot of learnings from that community tournament. And that was a very good way in kind of helping scope us see how the Overwatch community reacts to a program like that. And we're able to kind of use the learnings and systems with a little extra stuff from our background and improve that. I will say, especially though, we have a very kind of historic foundation with our path to pro in both open division, collegiate, and contenders, and we were definitely able to take a lot of those things and apply them here, which did, as you say, we were able to just focus more on the community building, the verification, the trust, and just making sure that that was definitely a priority for everyone who competed.
Perfect. And for the separate branches of Path to Pro, like what you were talking about, they're historically unrecognized, either not taken seriously by the organizers or not taken seriously by the viewers. And one way or another, it wasn't very helpful to collegiate and other kind of a mix between third party and first party programs. Um, is there any forward moving plan now? Because it seems like they are being handled and managed more seriously. Is there any kind of plan that was put in place to make sure that these continue to be legitimate paths to pro?
Yeah, I would say I can't talk too much to that, but something that we are doing internally is we're trying to focus on making kind of Overwatch esports be a holistic approach across the board. We've done some kind of integration between our teams at the Overwatch League and the Path to Pro level, which has been really successful. And I think that we've seen a lot of coordination between those programs, especially in the end of this year. Something that was a little funny was that we have our collegiate finals, our contenders run it back finals, and our Calling Out Heroes finals all in December. And we have Pacific Showdown, we have the Legends tournament. There's a lot of Overwatch happening, and that's a lot to not overlap on. So it was a
Yeah.
lot of coordinating between all our teams just to make sure that everything didn't overlap. We had an equal share of resources, and no one was taking from someone else. And I think we've achieved that goal. And it's one of those little invisible things that when we mess up, it looks very bad. But I think we're doing a great job so far of just there's a ton of Overwatch going on, and no one's really impacted too much by the other programs, which is really great. So I think that's like one way that we're definitely improving that.
Yeah, it's probably more likely to have an influence on retention in the community as well. No, because typically Overwatch League is the by and large exponentially more viewed, followed, and experienced league, just because it's the premier league of Overwatch. Um, but the off season has always been a little bit more. There's always been a space between being able to watch contenders or there actually being a legitimate collegiate tournament. Now that all these things are happening, it seems like viewer retention transitioning from this season of the Overwatch League to these other leagues, the tier 2 leagues and these other paths to pro, the transition has been a lot smoother and the retention of viewership has really been there. Have you guys been seeing that?
I'd say definitely so. I think one of the main ways we've been solving for that is by having streams on the Overwatch League channel. We're able to transition a lot of those viewers who aren't as educated on our contenders, collegiate, and Calling Out Heroes programming. We're able to just promote that with kind of our Overwatch League brand, and we are able to see a good transition of those viewers to those products, which is awesome.
So as for this upcoming season of the Overwatch League, is there some kind of downtime that you guys have between planning, or does it pick up immediately and go straight into planning the 2023 season as soon as Grand Finals ends for 2022?
Yeah, I would say that even before the finals is ended, we're already thinking about next year. We've already got some plans underway, and there's already months of work going into that to just make sure the next season is awesome and our fans have a great experience.
Very good. Glad to hear it. So then, is there anything that you would like to say to anybody who is excited for the upcoming plans that you've got going on with the competitive scene?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say definitely stay tuned to our channels on both Overwatch League and Play Overwatch for future news on the Overwatch League and Calling All Heroes, but especially on the Calling All Heroes front. Make sure to tune in this weekend on Saturday, December 17th and Sunday, December 18th. We are having more Calling All Heroes competition. We're going to be crowning our first champion, which is super, super exciting. We're streaming on 3 destinations: Play Overwatch Twitch, Play Overwatch YouTube, and Overwatch League YouTube. And also, if you tune in on Overwatch League YouTube, you can get OWL tokens on December 18th. So make sure to tune in, support your favorite team, and win some OWL tokens.
Wonderful. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for everything, Bailey.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.